It is a soupy day out here on the trail. Just came across some fresh, looks like deer, maybe elk tracks. I'm not sure, they're a lot bigger than what I would expect for a normal deer. It's what makes me think it might be elk. And there's actually a lot of deer dropping, so I'm gonna guess it's deer. But we're out here along the White River. Just did a video out here a couple weeks ago and just kind of fell in love with the area. So I've been doing a lot more exploring lately. We're gonna head down to a meadow that I found a few weeks ago. Take a little break, cook up some breakfast. It is still early in the day, got a lot of miles ahead of us. Well, I didn't have the camera out, but I did just fall in the creek. Trying to cross without slipping on rocks. A little trickier than I expected, but I made it across and the only thing that went in are my feet. So it's gonna be a good test to see if these trail runners and my darn tough socks dry out as quickly as they're supposed to. Not very graceful. I'll give you one guess. Now I'll give you 10 guesses to what's actually in this jar. So you might recognize this spot if you've been following the channel. I recently did a test of this compact British Army stove and the Fire Dragon fuel gel. Wasn't a huge fan of the Fire Dragon, but the stove itself I really enjoyed. So we're going to use it again for today's cookout. But instead of the Fire Dragon gel, I'm actually going to use these little fuel tabs. It's a true solid fuel. Doesn't burn quite as hot, but it burns for about 12 minutes. Should be just about right for what we're going to do today. First things first, we're going to get some water boiling. So while we're warming up the water, here's what we're going to make. It's a little overindulgent, I know, but my original plan was to get an early morning hike in, have breakfast, and then finish the hike. But honestly, I've been having such an amazing day out here. I hiked right through breakfast and almost through lunchtime too. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. It's never too late for breakfast. So today we're going to be using the Spam singles. These are a great little pack alternative. I know some folks hate Spam. For me, it's one of my favorite secret indulgences. So we're going to fry up some Spam, make some mashed potatoes, and then we're going to actually make mashed potato cakes out of it. And that's basically going to just fry them in some good old-fashioned peanut oil. We'll grill up some tomatoes, and then the secret ingredient. This is the one I've been waiting for. I don't know if it survived. So it's not sweet tamarinds like the bottle says, but inside we actually have one of my wife's wool socks. What we are having today, fresh eggs. I am really excited to see these survive too. So we have fresh eggs. Now, I wouldn't recommend keeping these in your pack for a full day. Obviously, it's very risky because an egg could crack and it gets ruined. But unfortunately, with the processing that our commercial eggs go through, they're just not safe if they're unrefrigerated. Now, if it's from farm to table, they'll last for several days, probably several weeks. But if it's a grocery store egg, you want to make sure you keep it nice and cold at all times. So once we get our water up to a boil, we're going to mix up our mashed potatoes and set them off to the side. Then we'll start grilling up the Spam and the tomatoes, pull those off, make some nice cakes out of our mashed potato, and then fry some eggs and have an amazing breakfast. So stand by. Not gonna lie, that Spam smells amazing. Just give it a couple more seconds here, and I'll toss in the tomatoes and get them warmed up also. That's good. The mashed potatoes, there's no real art form to it. I just want to get them in the pan and get them cooking. Those potatoes are just about ready, which means it's time for us to cook our eggs. And if the potato's sticking, probably a good indication the egg's gonna stick too. I'm gonna add a lot more peanut oil in there just to try and help keep the eggs from sticking. And then, let's see what happens. Now we wait. Well, the fried eggs turned into scrambled eggs. I broke one of the eggs when I was trying to loosen them as it was sticking to the pan. But I'll tell you what, it's still an amazing breakfast. Simple and easy. We've got fried mashed potatoes, Spam, grilled tomatoes, and some fresh scrambled eggs. I couldn't ask for a better way to spend the afternoon. So until next time, folks, hope to see you out there on the trail. Let's go for a walk. Maybe have some breakfast.